Alright guys, welcome back to the Universidad Age of Mythology tiny tournament for Q1 2022, the 1v1 tournament. Unfortunately not for a prize pool, so we'll have to get these guys a sponsor, yeah? So we've got Ma, on the top side is Odin Dabraamh, the lower side is Odin, so another Norse mirror here coming our way. Will be another hard and fast one. So these can be very decisive. Our players. Dabraamh needs to try and get this offside to try and build the corner temple, actually, while this other one builds the side temple. It's a little bit rough for him. There we go. There we go. So Dabraamh going all the way up to the 4 temples. His opponent going up to 3, as we're seeing. Ma looking to get quite a few houses out early as well. Player's going to want to go for bulk infantry and then delete one of these rear side temples in favour of an armory once they take their age up. And because we've got a complete wall off with temples here, I don't really think we're going to see too much early fighting. We might see an awful lot of town. Ooh, one of the mid-map temples being deleted in order to try and house wall instead, because then you can put the towers behind it a little bit closer to your opponent. Give yourself space to potentially fit more barracks in here. So we're going to see Norse players go and smash down barracks. Ooh, armory v armory actually to start with. So they really want to get ahead on the tech curve here as well. Also really important. You can start getting Age 3 improved infantry and towers and Age 3 myth units, your Age 3 god power. You can really look at pushing. The moment you get a unit advantage on top of that, it becomes very difficult to sustain anything for your opponent. So barracks being used instead of a temple. Now on the rear side, slightly faster infantry training, as much as the hearse here. Solid and generating a bit of extra favour. When you're not on Loki, you're not going to generate any free myth units out of them. So for Thor and Odin, it's often worthwhile just to use this space to get more longhouses. So undermine being used by Dabraamh to try and pick off a couple of towers here. Will it leapfrog through any more? No, it doesn't seem that. It's already picked off a good number of them though. So Ma struggling a little bit for the build space. He's sort of backing onto himself here. So Dabraamh 60 pop, Ma 57, so pretty even on that regard. Ma just repairing his structures through all this while players race towards the age ups. Dabraamh slight lead on that at the moment. So Ma now using undermine, sniping a few towers of his opponents. Well, the temple is now going to fall, but has he got enough to defend? So we've got market v market. Dabraamh once again slightly ahead on the age up timing. While the frost is going to hit everything. And Ma's response. He can frost his opponent and try and seize up the market time himself, but it's going to be a little bit late to do so. So it looks like Dabraamh going to be able to get his myth age uninterrupted now. As soon as that safeguard finishes. Really handy for making the towers stronger. The cheaper, pretty irrelevant, but the stronger is very important. So Ma now frosting Dabraamh, but Dabraamh safe to actually work on a hill fort while his opponent's taking the market. It looks like Dabraamh has more units unfrosted at the moment, so building curve really starting to favour him at the moment. He's going to squeeze in another longhouse here potentially. And just go on the offensive and try and work away at some of Ma's houses. Ma's frost still impacting some of Dabraamh's army, so he does still have that advantage up his sleeve that he can pick off a couple of infantry, try and make this all worthwhile. But it's been a tough sell because Dabraamh's age up is like another quarter speed quicker at the moment. Dabraamh 65 pop to Mar's 57, and Mar housed at the moment, so he can't just keep adding military behind this. Dabraamh has plenty of houses, so he's free to. We've got heroic upgrades with both of our players kicking in on their infantry. So they've both done well to remember that. Well, the hill fort's actually going to be faster for Mar now, so that's a really nice timing for him. Just having all of his infantry fight safely under his towers. Mar slowly catching up with the sense that Dabraamh's pushing perhaps slightly too early. The infantry are just dying in a bloodbath. So Mar going to have faster access to ramps, but he needs the houses to actually get them down. He desperately needs to have houses at this point to try and get more structures, because Dabraamh, Age Up is just about finished. So he's going to have access to Ragnarok, which is going to be pretty irrelevant, but he is going to be free to start taking Myth Age stuff. So Ballista will be on the way. Myth Age kicking in for Mar, and he's also on Ragnarok. So the beauty is you are going to get access to the Frost Giants. There is no temple here for Dabraamh, so no free Frost Giant for him, and no way to train them through this, but Mar does have the Frost Giants, and he is going to try and snipe a few of the houses, try and turn things around. Oh, he's probably should have just kept focusing down the house there, I think. Because right now, where Mar is really struggling is unit count, and Dabraamh is now starting to slip behind on unit count, but is always free to keep training through this. There's no problem passing a 35 population limit, whereas Mar constantly locking up in that sense. So even though he's now at 2 fire giants, he won't be able to get too many more, while Ballista production is really going to ramp up. And again, Mar's build space is going to start to struggle. Well, he's got rid of... deleted the longhouse, only to place another one, so I don't know what's up with that. Oh no, he's deleted the armory in order to place another longhouse. So he's got the upgrades he wants out of Mythic. He's still pushing for also Dabraamh. Stabilizing once again. Mar still has the fire giants, but there is plenty here to deal with them. There is only the 3 of them in this house. He needs to get finished desperately. Mar at the pop cap, so he's not going to be able to get another one or anything else out at the moment. So he desperately needs to get one of these old sarks to finish this off. These guys really need to finish off this house for Mar so he can finish. The 4 fire giants, incredibly tanky and slowing things down, able to snipe towers with ease, and he's really forcing Dabraamh to have to just outproduce him and cut through this now. This account will be able to snipe these houses with ease too. Mar, giving himself some population space there. And you have to seize back from him. The fire giants able to do wonders, taking out production and houses. Try and keep Mar in this game, but Dabraamh, wall of Ballista, it's just doing a fantastic job. And now all the supporting towers are starting to fall. Rams for Mar, but not really able to get onto the structures now. The hill fort being focused down now by Mar. GG, Dabraamh takes the game.